or I've got like a hairband mark, you know, when your like hairbands on your wrist too tight. Ignore that, and please ignore the state of my nails. We don't need to talk about it. Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. So I have actually already filmed this video last night. I came to look at the footage, hated it, hated how I looked. Things I said were fine, but I couldn't. I'm such a perfectionist, I cannot put something up if I'm not 100% happy with it. So here I am, I'm refilming it. It's currently Sunday night, so hopefully I will be able to get this up tonight. And if not, I'm really sorry, because I wanted to like stick to my schedule so much. But if not, it will just go up on Monday and it will still be up. Yeah, you probably don't even care, because by the time you're watching this, it doesn't really matter. But anyway, I thought I would say that because I'm like worried that I'll forget to include something, because I honestly filmed for so long last night. Like, I was sat chatting to my camera for maybe 45 minutes and I just want to include everything I said. If I don't, I'm sure that I will put in some like typey bits of anything that I missed. But yeah, let's just get on with the video. Okay, so on my phone I've got like a little structure of how I kind of want the video to go, where I want it to go, kind of thing, because you know what I'm like, I'll ramble on for about 2 days. Before I start this video, I kind of just wanted to say like, oh, first of all, actually the biggest thing, it's probably going to be super duper long. So go grab yourself a cup of tea. I should have got one myself, maybe a snack or something, and yeah, just I hope you enjoyed the video. Second thing, for me personally, I don't, and I found this hard to kind of say last night when I filmed, I don't want this to come across as like, oh, I think I know everything about auditioning. I think I know, like, I don't want this to come across as like, because I got into schools, I'm amazing and I'm going to tell you everything that kind of, I'm sure you guys can get what I'm saying, and I'm sure you know me well enough to know that I'd never like, I'm not trying to big myself up or whatever, and this is literally just my experience, how I approached auditions, how it kind of went for me, and it's so personal. It's such a personal thing. Like, everyone experiences it differently, everyone prepares differently, but this is just my experience. I've got some questions, I've got some little tips that I kind of found and that might help you. I've had like a lot of questions from you guys about what I do, how to, all related to this video, and I think it's about time I do it. This is kind of like the audition period time, so I really hope this can help some of you guys out. I'm not sure how many videos like this are on YouTube. I don't think there's that many, because like all my friends at college and stuff, they were like, oh, it's such a good idea to do that as a video, because I would have loved to have watched someone, I would love to have like known a bit more, and if I can help some of you out, then that is the whole point. I just want to help you guys out and yeah, give you a little bit of my own personal advice, how I kind of did things. So yeah, without rambling, oh my god, I've rambled for 5 minutes. And can we just take a minute to appreciate my hunt up? Loving it. Anyway, back on to the video. So as you can tell by the title of this video, this is all to do with auditions for there's a million different names, so I'm going to run through a couple. Drama school, performing arts college, vocational college, conservatoires, dance college, did I say that? Dance school, acting school, musical theatre college. It's such like a wide variety, and then it goes further than that, because then some schools are just acting schools, some specify more in singing, maybe dance. I do that because it's so wide and so varied, and yeah, that is what this video is about. What's first on my list? Where I auditioned. So just to like start this off, I auditioned at 18, so I was in, if we're doing it in like school years, I would be in second year of A-levels, so that's year 13. Yeah, so kind of when people start applying for unis, if you don't have a gap year, that is when I applied for these schools and did my auditions. So my audition period was from February to May. Let me just tell you, they all were amazing experiences, but it is a lot of stress, a lot of pressure, and gotta love it. That's what I'm going to start by saying. If you don't love it, if you're not passionate, don't bother. And I'm going to be blunt as that, because it's blimmin' hard. Like, it's a hard industry, it's tough. Anyway, so that is when I auditioned. So it was about around this time last year. I was just kind of getting ready to start my auditions. In total, I applied to 8 different schools. I applied to London Studio Centre, Italia Conti Arts Centre, Erdang, Lane. Some of them have like extended names. I'm just saying the sort of name that you would go by. Lane, Masters, Performers, Arts Ed, and Bird. As you guys, I was kind of like debating whether to say where I train, but at the end of the day, it's in my Instagram bio. I'm proud of it. Like, I go to Bird College and it's in London and I absolutely love it. If you want a whole nother video about that or something I can talk about in my vlogs, more about what I actually do in the sense rather than the like audition process, I can do that. But yeah, so that is where I train, and those were the schools that I auditioned for. Some people would say that those schools that I applied for are more dancey schools, and then you have other schools which you'd say are more singing schools. Do you know what I mean? But they're not. At the end of the day, you're all training to be a triple threat, which is singing, dancing and acting, and all of these schools come under the bracket of going into the musical theatre industry or commercial dance industry, or like you name it. There's so many things that you can go into from going to one of these schools. Whew, I'm gonna go so off track all the time. So yeah, I auditioned at 8 schools. I managed to receive a place at all of them bar 1. So I received 7 offers in total out of the 8, and that was crazy. Like, absolutely crazy. And it was such a good time because it really boosted my confidence. Yeah, but that's kind of not what this video is about. But yeah, that is what my outcome was. So I'm going to talk about the whole application process. It's a pretty lengthy process. Be prepared that it's pretty time consuming. All the applications ask for different things. Some of the schools you have to go through UCAS if they're connected to a uni, so make sure you are prepared. If you're auditioning this year, I think the UCAS deadline has already gone, like it's been and gone, so I'm sure you would have done that by now. And depending on how many schools you audition for, obviously it was lengthy for me. I auditioned to 8 different schools. I had 8 different applications to do, and then 2 of them went through UCAS as well. So I think if you apply for like normal, I say normal unis, but you know what I mean, if you want to study history, English, that kind of thing, you apply through UCAS and that's kind of it. Whereas with your drama school, your musical theatre college, whatever you want to call it, they can go by post. I think you can do some online, but yeah, they all pretty much ask for a different thing. Another thing, personal statement. Even though some of them don't go through UCAS, personal statement they will most likely ask for. They want to get to know a bit about you. Obviously, some of the auditions include an interview, but if they don't, they want to know a little bit about you as well as seeing what you can do on the day. I'd say literally, if you're in year 11, think about your personal statement. Like, it just kind of stressed me out so much because I was thinking, this is the first thing they get from me, why I'm passionate about this, why I want to do this, and it takes a long time to get it completely like spot on. And for me, like, because I'm such a perfectionist, I was like panicking like about it, but at the end of the day, like, they're going to base you more on the audition than your personal statement, but it's still important. So yeah, that's something to think about. Also, some of the applications, well, pretty much all of the applications will ask for a headshot. Some you'll have to stick on, some you can upload online. But yeah, I think I'd say if you're able to get a good headshot, something that makes you look, obviously it's got to still look like you, because they still see you on the day, but try and get a good headshot that looks professional, that looks, I don't know, quite striking. Like, you want to stand out. There's thousands of other people who could look exactly like you. Like, definitely try and get a good headshot. I got mine done with, I believe, someone called Jimmy Image, I think. He's obviously based in Bristol, and they were fab. Another thing, some of the applications will ask for dance photos. The places I auditioned for did anyway. In terms of those photos, they could ask for like a full body shot, a side profile, a demi-plie, an arabesque. That kind of thing is what they want to have a look at. I was lucky enough that my college actually took those for us and we didn't have to worry about getting them done. They they did that all for us and that was fab. I don't think you need to stress about them at all, you just have to take them. I do have to tell you a funny story. So obviously a lot of the applications are similar, so they'd say, why would you like to train with us, or why would you, for example. So kind of my reasons were pretty much similar for a lot of them, because it's what I want to do. Then I had to explain like why this is what I want to do. So it was getting to the point where I'd done a couple and I kept like rewriting them for each thing, and I just thought, okay, for the next one I'll just copy it and paste it, because it's no harm. Like I've still got the same reasons for wanting to go there or wanting to audition there. I can't really remember what the question was, but stupidly I left in the name of the other school onto this application, sent it off, and you got like a review of it at the end, and it said, I'd like to train at so-and-so, I'd like to train here at so-and-so because, and it was not the right name. Oh guys, I literally was so embarrassed. And when I went to audition there, I knew that the panel were looking at my like application as I was dancing and they were probably thinking, But yeah, anyway, that was just funny, but that's besides the point. Just thought I'd add that in as a little kind of light-hearted thing. Yeah, that's kind of the application process. The next thing is kind of like the prep for the audition. So I'd say each audition is really specific to like the school, and be careful, make sure I kind of had a notebook specifically for auditions. Oh, quickly going back to the application process. Yes, I auditioned for 8 schools, but it is bloomin' expensive. Like each audition costs, and it can vary, £40, £60, like crazy amount of money. So be really wary of that. And to anyone, I'd say audition as many places as you can, because you never know what school is going to be right for you. You never know where you're going to suit. You could go somewhere and think, absolutely hate this is not the school for me. You could go somewhere and absolutely love it. Try and get as much, or like open days are great as well. Try and get as much sort of knowledge about these places. Knowledge is power. 100% knowledge is power. Just be aware, like, and it's not even just the audition day. So my mum and dad would really like kindly drive me. We'd stay overnight in a hotel. I loved it. I thought it was great. We like, whoever I went with, my mum or dad, we went out for a meal the night before, got up. Like I really enjoyed it. And I can't thank them enough for that. But it adds up, of course it does. The travel, the whatever else. So be wary of that. As much as I'd say to audition as many places as you can, be wary of the cost. Back on to prep for an audition. So yeah, as I was saying, it's kind of like a basic structure. Most of the places that I auditioned, which I told you those schools a while back, most of those schools had a ballet audition, a jazz audition. I say audition, it's just like a ballet class and a jazz class, a song and a monologue. Now this can really vary. Some places will ask you to bring 2 songs, 2 monologues. Some might throw in a commercial class. One school I had to take 3 different genres of dance. Like I had to choreograph my own dances and take that to show them. That was a little bit of a stress. Really read into it, make sure you're prepared, because the more you know your stuff inside out, the more you're prepared, the more you're gonna feel comfortable and smash it. And I feel like I'm gonna miss some of this out because I really took a long time talking about this last night. Kind of goes along with things you need. Okay, so when you are preparing for an audition, make sure you're preparing months in advance. And you might be thinking, oh yeah, but I could learn that like a week before and it'll be fine. The more you say it's a monologue, the more you like have learned it, once you've digested the words, you can practice and practice, and then when you know it like that, you can add in little bits here and there and things like that. With the song, choose something that suits you. Obviously, again, like I was saying, some schools will ask for a pre-1965, which is like a legit song, as well as a contemporary, but it's always good to have options. I'd say that with everything. Have an options of a couple of songs, have options of a couple of monologues, just in case they think, not sure if that song suits them, can we hear you do a different song, for example. Definitely just make sure you've got your stuff together. Get yourself, I don't know, an audition folder maybe. Yeah, get yourself an audition folder. That is what I did. Kept all my stuff in there, little notes and whatever that I needed to take. I think that's everything I have to say. Kind of preparing. Oh, I feel like there's so much. Practice all the time. Practice in front of people and with people, even if it terrifies you. Get your mum, your dad, your nan, your brother, your boyfriend, your friend, whoever, to come and listen to you sing your monologue. Even if it like really terrifies you, they'll be able to give you feedback. They'll be able to say, if you've got 2 songs you can't choose from, sing them to someone and they're able to give you feedback. But at the end of the day, you've got to go with your gut, go with what feels. Your gut's not there, Adina, is it? Go with what feels comfortable, go with what you know. Just a little bit of maybe like a little tip. Try and find songs and monologues that the audition panel have not heard a million times before. And obviously I'm not an expert, and if a song from one of these musicals I'm about to mention really suits you and your singing teacher or whoever has told you to take it, by all means. Do not listen to me. But I cannot tell you how many times my teachers have told me that they've heard On My Own from Les Mis, anything from Wicked, Hairspray. They get a bit bored, that's what I've been told, so try and find something that is quite, not unusual, but maybe not as popular, not as done, if you know what I mean, because it's something fresh. They can say, ooh, like if they haven't heard a million different versions, they can't really compare you, do you know what I mean? Like, and you can do it your own way. And I'd always just say go for something that isn't the most popular thing, and it shows you've got a little bit more knowledge of musicals if you don't choose something that is so well known. Because I mean, someone who isn't into musical theatre has probably heard Defying Gravity, do you know what I mean? So it shows that you've got a little bit of knowledge there. Anyway, I'm gonna move on. If I've forgotten anything, I will pop it on the screen. So things that you need, I think I've kind of touched on that as well. Obviously for like the dance classes, if you've got a ballet, I'd say just make sure you look good. Make sure you look good. Have your hair neat. Make sure you've got a fresh bottle of hairspray, enough hairbands, enough clips. Obviously things like this are so personal, so I'm not going to tell you what to do and what not to do. This is just what I did. So for ballet, some of them you don't have time to get changed, but if you do have time to get changed, a nice classical black leotard with pink tights, you can't go wrong. Nice neat bun net, you look good. And then for the like jazzy auditions, I always wore red leotard, red lip. If you do have time to like change your lipstick, just little things like that might, I don't know, that is just what I did. Red lipstick, red Leo, high pony, just like this one. Some people wear jazz shoes. Sometimes it will specify what to wear on your feet. Foot thongs kind of thing, bare feet. Those things are personal, but then at the same time, some of them will say no shoes. So just obviously read and you'll get all that information and emails and whatever else like that. So the actual audition day. Now, before I actually auditioned, the thought of auditioning absolutely terrified me. Like, I was a complete, no, actually that's really dramatic, I wasn't a complete mess. I was really excited, but the like thought of, I don't know, you don't know who's gonna like you, if people are gonna like you, and I'm not talking about people at the audition, I'm talking like the panel. You're worried about the people at the audition. Are they going to be nice to me? Are they going to come across as bitchy towards me? Like, and those are all things you go through your head. What if I forget my words? What if I forget the choreography? What if I, and it's like before you go, it's pretty terrifying. Like, I completely like, I'm on the same page because I know how you feel. But I do have to say that I found that I kind of got like practice, and this might sound silly, but by the time I think it was like my 9th, because I had a recall, so that made it 8, and then it got to like my 9th audition, and I was just like, yeah, let's do it. Like, at the end of the day, my teacher at my old college told me this and I never forgot it. You have paid to be there. You have paid to go and do that audition. You've paid your own money, or your parents' money, or whoever paid for it, they've paid. You've paid to have that time. And like I used to think, oh, like before I do my song, like I'm gonna be really nervous. What if I don't hit the note? What if I like whatever? But then my teacher said, when you give over the music, say if you're doing a singing audition, just have a moment before you start. Obviously, if the pianist just starts, then you just go along with it and it's over like that, and you just think, well, that was good. Just have your moment, do you know what I mean? Like, you've paid to be there. And in the dance audition, the same thing. Show them what you've got. You paid to be there. You can do it. Like, that's it really. Keep remembering you've paid to be there. I'd say if I'm going back to like the singing audition, always thank the pianist and the panel that you've just performed to. I'd say do this in the dance as well, but this is always like a lot harder because there's a lot of you don't know what kind of situation you're in. Thank as many people as you can. Being a nice person will get you somewhere. They're looking, and this is really, really important, they're not looking for someone who is perfect, who could already go into the industry right now, because if they could, they'd be going and they'd be getting work. They're looking for someone with potential, someone who they can work with to make into a brilliant performer over 3 years. Like, remember, it's 3 years of hard work. And yeah, that's something I'd make really clear. You've got to be so strong physically and mentally. If, say, this is your first time moving away from home, as it was for me, moving away from home, making new friends and going to like a completely different place. It's pretty scary. What am I even talking about? Adina! Oh my god, I just go off on tangents, don't I? Anyway, I'm just gonna carry on. I cannot remember where I was going to with that. Yeah, always have like good manners and everything. It goes without saying, it's a given. Oh, I remember! They want to see potential. Yes, I got it. I think that's where I was. So yeah, they don't want this perfect person. Yeah, perform your socks off. Show them what you got. I'd say in the dance auditions, I think pretty much all the schools I auditioned for threw in a little bit of freestyle, which is where they say, right, improvise, freestyle, whatever you want to call it, for till the end of the track, for 16 counts, for whatever. And that's kind of tricky, because if you can trick, if you can turn, if you're amazing at leaps, chuck them all in. They'd usually say do it in the style normally, but then if you're like amazing at hip hop, if you're amazing at something else that you haven't been able to show off during the audition, show it off, go for it. Literally sell it, just sell it. I guess you could be worried about other people, but literally when I was there, met the nicest people, made some really like nice friends, and yeah, it's not, I didn't really experience any bitchy people. I know people have, like my friends have, but I didn't necessarily experience any like bitchiness really. And when I was in the auditions, I was kind of in my own little bubble. Like, yeah, I was talking to people and everything, but when it got to like the dance auditions and things like that, I literally was in my own little world. I wasn't even looking, and like, even if they said mark something, the person next to me would be like, oh, do you want to mark it with me? Yeah, like, go for it. They and it's hard to say, they're judging you from the moment you walk in that room to the moment you leave. You've got to be on top form. Also, another part that I haven't mentioned, there can be an interview stage. Not all schools do this just because of like time, but I think it's really nice when schools do this, because they get to know a little bit about you rather than just you singing and dancing and them not really talking to you. Some schools like include this in with say your singing audition or your acting. You'll go and they'll ask you some questions, be prepared. Kind of, it's hard to plan in like an interview situation, but they're all pretty much of a muchness. Why do you want to come here? What do you want to do in the future? What's your dream show? I don't know, stuff like that. Like, be prepared, but obviously you can't plan. Just be you. Be you. That is all I can say. Be you, perform. And it's kind of the same with like what you choose to wear. Choose something that suits you. For like the dances, if you're doing a jazz class, wear a bright coloured leotard that suits you. And if you have like quite a unique style, show that off when you go to your monologue, to your song. I wore a play suit with like heeled boots. Maybe change your lipstick, just like little things like that. Wear something, say if you went in like a red, I don't know, red play suit, mine was black, and I probably could have gone for something a little bit more adventurous, but they say, oh, the girl in the red play suit, something that's maybe a bit eye-catching. Wear something that you love, like literally wear an outfit that you can look at yourself in the mirror and think, oh yeah, I like this outfit, or I feel good. If you feel good on the inside, you will look good on the outside, and I promise you that. Okay, so I think that's kind of the day. If I've missed anything from the day, and then questions. So I received a couple of questions from you guys, and thank you so much for sending me them. I love talking to you. I say this all the time. I love talking to you guys, like the fact you take time out of your day to like send me messages and things. I love it. I think it's so nice. First question, do you do triple threat? Hope that makes sense. I got you. And if so, what songs did you sing for audition, etc.? I have mine coming up and I'm so nervous. Please don't be nervous. You'll really enjoy it, I promise. The thought is 100% a lot worse than the actual experience. Yes, I do triple threat, and that means singing, dancing and acting, but you could think, oh, that sounds really easy. So much comes under those categories. And what songs did I sing? So for the song I sang at every single audition was a song called What More Do I Need from a musical called Saturday Night. There's a really nice version on Spotify. I think it's the first one that comes up, and I believe that's by Kelly O'Hara. So yeah, if you want to give that a listen, give that a listen. For me, looking back as Adina now, a year on, I'd say that probably wasn't the best audition song, but I was kind of like, obviously I was nervous and I didn't kind of trust myself as much as I should have with my choices of song, in the sense that I probably could have done more, but was I scared and kind of wanted to go with something safe? Yes, and that's what I did. But it worked for me, it was fine. So thank you for your question. Can you talk through the basic audition process of everywhere you applied for? I think I've pretty much done that, but thank you so much for your question. Hey gal, sorry I said that so weird. How did you keep a positive mindset throughout the process? How did you choose your pieces? Positive mindset. Maybe I found it quite like, maybe it was tiring for me because I had like a lot of auditions, and then it got to February half term and I had an audition every other day, and that was tough. But positive mindset, like at the end of the day, your audition, it's so exciting. Like you're auditioning somewhere where you could potentially be spending the next 3 years. You could be auditioning somewhere where you can meet some of your best friends, where it's gonna open up all these job opportunities in the future, and you've got to just think, yeah, they're scary, and what if I don't get it? If you don't get it, and it's not, there's nothing wrong with that. It's so common. Like some of my friends, they auditioned 1 year, didn't get in, and they're doing it another year. And if you find yourself in that position, that is like, you'll be even, think about how much more prepared you would be a second time round, like how much you would grow as a person. Do not think of it in a bad way if you don't get in first time, because it's so common. Somehow some miracle happened and that didn't happen for me, but it's so common. But anyway, positive mindset, you're doing something you love, it's so exciting and you're passionate about it, so you've got to keep positive. How did I choose my pieces? Well, because of the college I was at last year, I was really lucky to get given all the resources. My singing teacher was amazing, acting teacher was fab, like, and the people that ran it were incredible, and I was able to talk to them literally about every little detail, and I felt so prepared because of the college, and I cannot thank them enough. I've said this before in another video, I cannot thank them enough for everything they did for me. It was incredible, and they really prepared me. So how did I choose them? Test the waters a lot. Sing, I say a million, but that's again me being dramatic. Sing loads of songs, act loads of monologues, find ones that you think, yeah, this suits me, yeah, I'm good doing this. Perform it to teachers if you go to a college where you're able to do that. If you don't, perform it to your family, like I said, friends, whoever. Once you've found your pieces, you'll know when you think, yeah, I've got it. And sometimes, and I kind of found this, you might never be 100% happy because you never know, what if I did this piece, what if I did that piece. Yeah, but then at the same time, you've just got to stick with it, you've got to go with it, and you choose it. And before I ramble on, that's my answer to that one, so thank you. Another question: hey Adina, I love your channel. Thank you so much. Oh, I've just recently graduated from it would be interesting to know in your video, since I've been through the whole vocational school experience, what your average day would consist of, and what also would you like to audition for after you've graduated. So it's hard to say kind of like my average day. I don't know, maybe we'll go for like a Thursday. My days are pretty much 8 till 6:45, so like maybe 11-hour. I round up to 12 hours because it kind of, by the time I'm home and whatever, it feels like, because like I leave at 7:30 and then I get in at like 7:30 in the evening, so to me it's kind of like 12-hour day. But so yeah, my average day could possibly be, let's go with my Thursday: tap, contemporary, ballet, ensemble, voice and commercial, but then it changes up every day. We could have, I don't know, like jazz and dance workshop, MT workshop, like all those different things, but that is just kind of like a standard day. I probably will talk more in my vlogs. If you guys want to know like my different days, I will do that for you. And what would I like to do afterwards? At the moment, like I'm in my first year, so it's kind of easy to say what the dream would be, but then maybe when I get to it, like I don't know, other opportunities might come up. The dream at the moment, I could look back on this when I'm in my third year and think, Dina, shh, because I could completely change as like a performer, I don't know. But right this minute, the dream for me is to be in West End shows, musicals, tours, anything to do with performing is what I want to do. That's why I'm there. If we're going like extremely big, we'll go with New York, like Broadway, but the reality of that happening is so small, but that is another dream. So yeah, some musical somewhere in the world. Thank you for your question, by the way. Another question: how to get yourself noticed above everyone else? This is tough because you can only do what you can do, and that is really important. If you want to go for like things like wearing a super pretty leotard, and if you're going to like the extreme, dye your hair blue, like I'm sure you'll stand out then, do you know what I mean? For me, standing out was, the key to standing out was performing. 100% is performing. Like even in the audition rooms when you were watching other people dance and you could see where their eyes were going to was someone who, yeah, they could be getting the choreography completely wrong down below, but they didn't care. Their face was so musical. And yeah, this is my biggest tip: perform. If you hear the track and you think this is a very musical theatre smiley number, or if it's more of like a smouldery. The amount of times at my auditions they said, we don't want a mechanical dancer. You could be doing ballet for 12 years, but if you've got a blank expression and you're not like physical, what's the point? So yeah, I'd say perform, perform, perform. Thank you for your question. And then my last question is, would love to know where you auditioned, what offers you received, and your experience so far, and what type of work you want to do afterwards. I kind of feel like I've answered all of it. If you want to know my experience so far, I think I'd say 2 words, like amazing and hard work, because it's amazing and I absolutely love it, but it's blimmin' hard work. Thank you so much for your question. So I believe we have made it to the end of this video. If you're still here, thank you. Like a massive thumbs up to you, a million gold stars. If I could give you a hug, I would. Thank you for making it this far. Yeah, if you have made it this far, leave a little like an emoji or something, that'd be cool. Leave this emoji, I love this emoji. You know, the one that's like, yeah. Leave that emoji in the comments and I know that you made it to the end of the video. Yeah, I really hope this helped you out. Obviously, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm not an expert, I'm not a whatever. I'm just maybe gonna help you out. And even if you're not even auditioning, if you study history or French and you have nothing to do with this and you stumbled across this video, then thanks for being here. I hope you enjoyed hearing me ramble on about something that you might not be interested in it. But if you are interested in it and it did help you in some way, please give this video a thumbs up. That would be amazing. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. I want to make some more videos to do with like what I do, because I don't feel like there's a lot of that on YouTube, and if I can make my channel different, then yeah, let's do it. If you have any other sort of advice, tips, your own experiences, please leave them in the comments and we can all have like a big discussion about things down below, because it's great to all share and help out each other. Really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in my next one. We did it, guys. We did it. Oh no, has that been a bit of hair been out the whole time?